All right, are you ready to 10x your life goals? Some people ask me, how do you achieve so much in your life? How are you able to do this? I was able to 20x my net worth in 4 years, lose 30 pounds, quit my corporate job, read 75 books a year, travel 6 times internationally this year. Like, how are you able to do that? And I say, well, it comes from having goals. It comes from really looking at your values, what it is you want in life, and spending time with that. So we're going to talk about the system, kind of the point by point of how I did that and how I continue to do that, and how I'm going to do even bigger and more goals this next year through using this system. So if you've ever struggled with not being able to achieve your goals, if you ever struggle with starting out well but just not being able to follow through with it, this video is for you, because I'm going to give you some of the secret sauce of how I did it. I'm going to go over 3 easy steps. I'm going to share a quote for you at the end that's going to be awesome, so stick around. All right, so the first thing is to get clear on what you want, right? So when you look at your life, if you look 30 years out, what is it you want to look back and say, you know what, this is where I am 30 years from now? Maybe you don't have 30 years left. Maybe you're older. Maybe you feel like you got 10 years left, whatever you've got. Well, what do you want your life to be like in 10 years? And you can basically work backward from there. Now, if you don't know how to do that, you don't know how to get there, don't worry about that part yet. Your subconscious mind will help you, right? Once you actually see what it is you want, once you actually kind of have that clear in your mind and you start going towards something that you're really excited about, your subconscious mind will kind of help fill that in for you. So I've done a number of goals retreats that I would go to. They're paid for retreats. You go 2-3 day retreats. Now I do them. I used to do them with a group. Now I go by myself. And I just basically take my ideas, my goals, what I want for the year, and I'll reflect on, what happened this last year? What do I want to do? Where did I achieve my goals? Where didn't I? I work on my mission statement. So this is something that I created. This has there's some of my goals on the front of this, and on the back I have my mission statement and some values. And I basically read this. I go through this. I try to really, make some annual goals in relation to family and finances and health and travel and just all different areas. And what it allows me to do is to focus on the things that I want to change. And so that's really the next part, is to focus on your goals every day. It said that 3% of Americans have written goals. So if you have written goals, you're basically among 3% of Americans, right? So just having written goals is huge. So I showed you my goal sheet, my pictures. I have a mission statement. I read these every single morning. It talks about my values. I've done some other videos on this as well. But as you focus on them, again, where your focus goes, your energy flows, and that's where things start to happen that direction. So if you want to change your life, focus on what you want. That's why a lot of people are really big on vision boards and goals and writing your goals every day. But again, as you focus on them, they will change. There's a great book out there called Think and Grow Rich, which is by Napoleon Hill, which is not related to me, even though we have the same last name. But he interviewed a lot of very successful people, and he found that they had a practice of focusing on what they wanted, just really believing that they could achieve something, and if they could visualize it, it would allow them to be able to really say, "Oh, I actually can see this thing that is real." The second big thing here is really about get around high achievers, right? So there's a saying by Jim Rohn, who's a personal development guy. He would say, "You're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with," right? So if when I was 30 pounds overweight, I need to get around people that were in shape, people that are eating well, people that really took care of their bodies, right? When I wasn't as wealthy, I wanted to get around people that, were wealthy, in the room with people that were successful investors. And that really helped to elevate me to get to a higher level. It's just amazing about being in the place where people are at the next level. The worst thing, people talk about accountability or hold me accountable, man, or you help me to be accountable with this. Accountability works. One of the worst accountability groups is when you're in a accountability group, and nobody does the work, right? You've got people in there and nobody's doing, I didn't do it either. If you're one of 5 or 6 and every single person has done all of their work and beyond, you're like, holy smokes, like I need to really get it together, else I'm not going to belong in this group, right? So those people will pull you up to get to the next level. So we see that sometimes in workplaces, we see that with friendships, and sometimes with mastermind groups. This is a term Napoleon Hill from that book, Think and Grow Rich, came up with. Every single successful person had a group of people around them that helped them when they had a problem or helped them to get to the next level. So sometimes you have to pay to be in the room with really successful people. That's why some of these masterminds are 10 or 20 or 50 or $100,000 a year, because people want to pay to get in the room with people that are at the next level. And that's a great way to really have your life changed, is just to be around people that are at the next level. So those are a few things really that can help you along your way. The last thing I think is something that's really powerful, and it's about hiring a coach. Now, for me, to be honest, I'm a little frugal. I don't like paying money for things that are kind of expensive. And I literally grew up going to garage sales and stuff and just thrift stores and all that. As I've gotten more wealthy, I've had to kind of tell myself, no, it's worth paying the money if it gets you better results, right? So for me, one of my goals this year that's on my list, and you can see a picture of me with the Spartan people here, and this is a superimposed picture of my face on a Spartan winner's body, which is another strategy where you can, which is kind of funny, you can basically see yourself as that, and then your subconscious will say, oh, I'm going to become that. But I've been working hard the last year. Some of you have been following on social media, been running these Spartan races, and I finished out of my age group, usually about 60 to 80 people there, kind of, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, kind of in that range. To be number one or even top 3, you get on the podium if you're top 3. So I feel like I can get there, but the only way I've kind of come up to I don't know how to get there. I don't know what I need to do. So what I did is I found a guy who I met at one of these events who has been number 1 in the country in this age group, and I hired him as a coach. I said, hey, I want to hire you to help me train. So he wrote a schedule for me. He's going to keep me accountable. He's going to help me to get there. And if you look at it, there are pro athletes. Almost every single pro athlete actually has a coach as well, right? So if you really want to get to the next level, you hire a coach, right? So be willing to hire a coach or hire somebody to help keep you accountable. It could be a life coach. It could be a business coach. It could be someone that could help you along that to really provide accountability for you. So in summary, just, you got to get clear on what it is you want, because if you're not clear on what you want, you won't know where you're going. Focus on your goals every day. Write them down, make a list, take time away if you can, once a quarter, if not once a year. Really get clear on them, but the more you can keep them in front of you and really make them come alive, the more you'll get there. Get around high achievers, whatever it takes, get around people that are at the next level, and then hire a coach. Be willing to hire a coach that will help you, will keep you accountable. I actually know a guy that wanted to quit his job, and he actually hired a coach to help him quit his job because he had the passive income. He just couldn't get his mind around what it meant to actually leave his great engineering job to be able to do that. So be willing to hire a coach. So I wish the best for you in your goals, my friends. I want to share this quote with you. It says right here, some people want to make it happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen, right? So that's Michael Jordan, right? So it's not just being somebody who wishes it would happen, but they actually make it happen. They actually make the change that they want in the world. They make the change in their life that they want. If you're interested in changing your financial wealth and making a change in that area, this is how millionaires are made. I did a video, I interviewed 1,300 millionaires in my last 4 years, and I learned a lot about what principles unite them and how did it change their life. 88% of millionaires are self-made. So check out that video. I think you'll like that. If you have not joined our investment club, you're not hearing about our awesome deals in real estate, other alternative investments such as ATM machines or oil and gas or other sort of alternative deals as well. So check that out. Congrats on educating yourself. I wish you the best in the new year. And hopefully I'd love to hear some feedback on your goals. Maybe you could put in the comments, or you could reach out and say something that you are working on as far as one of your goals and what's going to happen for you in 2023.